Hi friends, welcome to the next JS series. In this tutorial, we're gonna see data fetching and catching. So let's get started here. Data fetching is all about when the client is requesting the server will respond back. We will be storing in the variable. So here we have to convert this data into JSON method format. So for that we have using a JSON method here. Once we have converted, we have to store it in some variable. This is holding some value. We have to list all the values here using this map method. So here you can see we are using a asynchronous method, asynchronous React server component. So here, so that you have to use a async function. If you are using async function, you have to use a await. So this is all about the data fetching. So coming to the catching, whenever the we are getting a response, it will be automatically catched by default in Next.js up to Next.js 14th version. Here you can see the response from the fetch will be automatically cached. If you don't want any catch, so you have to explicitly mention the catch no store here. So here the next JS 15th version, they are changing the catch by default to uncatched by defaults. So now the catching is not possible by default. We have to mention explicitly. So here, if you want to use catch, so you have a directory in the Canary version. You can see in the 15.0.2, you have to use a, if you want to use a catch, you have to use a use catch directive. So for that you have to give this experimental demo dynamic IO. So here you have to add it in next.config.ts in your file, project file. So once you have added, you can use the use directive. So various ways, if you want to use a file level, in the file level you have to use a use catch in this way. So if you want to use in a component level, you have to use here. So if you want to use in a function level, you have to use catchy in this way. So this is all about the use catch. So let's get start. In the project you can see I have created a fetch catch project under which you have used a app router. So in this you can have a page.ds. In this you can see I have used the fetch method. Here I have a data I have created under this fetch catch data, not in the app folder. So the data, in this data we have a db.json. So in the db.json you can see have array of objects. So you can take any object by your way, and I have taken this data here. So for creating a mock, so the mock AP, I'm creating a mock API, REST API. So for that, I have used the JSON server. So JSON server is used for creating a mock REST API for development and testing purpose. So here I have installed the dependency called JSON npm I JSON server. Once you have installed, you have to give this command json hyphen server hyphen hyphen watch hyphen hyphen port. You can give any port number here. So in this you have a data, in this you have a db.json. Once you have entered, you will be getting one endpoint. That endpoint, if you are accessing in the browser, you will get all the data's array of objects. You can see all the list of array of objects. So you can see here this data will be appeared there. So this is a mock you API endpoint. Once you have done this, go to the page.js, and you have taken, I have taken this example here, right here. So this example I have taken, instead of this API endpoint, I have taken whatever I have created in this post endpoint. So once you have given this endpoint, you will get a response. That response is converted into JSON. So I'm just listing using a map method. You can refer in a React tutorial. So once you have given this, if you executed, you can get all the names of this particular post. So here, go to this create localhost 3000, you will be getting all the names. So here, if you are consoling this, you from the this is default. In the Next.js, the default, it, this is a server component. So hi from the server component. If it is a server, you will be getting this. It's default. You can see in the rectangle box, you can get a server. So this is all about the server component. And if you want to use a client, if you want to make use of any React hook like use effect or use state, that time you have to use a directory called use client. You have to use. So this is a server component, and just leave this. If you want to use a cache, if I'm having a db.json, go to this, and I'm just adding a one more data, one more object here. So if I add one more data, what it would happen, I'm just adding 5. So this is all about Vidya something. So once I save this, the data will be added. So this name will be added here. So once I save this, you could see, once I refresh it, go to this, so you can see I will be getting this Vidya. So you will be getting here. So here I have to use use catch directive. For that, you have to go to this use direct this page, and you have to add this config, and you have to paste it in this. You go to the next config, and you have to paste it here, right here. And once you have saved this and go to the browser, so here I have this. So this is all about the endpoint. I have added Vidya right here. So you can see in this endpoint. Now you go to this, and I'm just it's refreshing the browser. What you can, just restarting the server. So it's restarting. Just take a while. So if you want to use a client component, you have to use a use client. So you have to use client directive, in which you can use for example, you can use post comma set post equal to use state. So this will be changed to client component. So once you have used the use client, the server component will convert it to client component. So this is executing. So now we are not using any of this. You have to import use state and all. If you want to use this, you have to use a use client. So it's starting, just starting the server. Still executing. Yeah, it's compiling. Once it's been compiled, we, uh, we could see what the result, and still and you have to use catch directive here. So it's compiled. So you got some error here. So once you could see here, so this component is have we have to use any suspense boundary, or you have to use catch to remove this error. So for that I have to use catch. So once I save this, this error would disappear. So you can just so you, this error get disappear. So if I go to this db.json and I'm just adding one more data right here, this won't add it because it's a catch. So I'm just adding this is rom. So once I save this, you see here the rom is not showing, right? So this is, if you are using use catch, this will not update it. So if I remove this, if any of the object, I'm just removing any of the object right here, so that data is also not removed. So you could see, I'm just save this and refresh this, you could see that data is not removed. So the Jovi is not removed. So if I go to the page.js and again I'm just removing this, and go to this config, I'm just remove this right here. If I save this, and it's just restarting the server, it's apply changes. Once I remove this, you could see the data which I have in the db.json, that data Jovis got deleted, and whatever I have added the ROM, that will be added right here. So if I use catch, the data whatever I have updated, that won't be get added, all the data will be remain same. So if I remove this use catch directive and also whatever I have added in the next config, so once it's been compiled, we could see. So I'm just compiling. So again I go to the page.js, so I'm refreshing it, and I'm just saving this. So here what I have done. So it's compiled successfully. So go to this. So the data Jovi is removed and also the ROM is added here. So this is all about the use catch directive and data fetching. So thank you all of you.